Hey everybody, this is Anthony at Comic Itch. Fuck. I'm gonna do this.
Where are we? Who are you?
I don't know what's happening.
I know that feeling. That's how I've been all weekend. I'm here and something's going on.
That thing with stuff.
So the things and stuff's happening everywhere.
I begin every sentence with an apology. Sorry that's the case, that's just British policy. Probably the case with everything in honesty. I use 10 words when 2 would do honestly. I'm British, and that makes me unique. At least I think so when I hear you speak. See, we used to have an empire, but we got a little cocky. Like, haha, Johnny Foreigner, I'd like to see you stop me. And sure enough...
Hey everybody, this is Anthony Silva with ComicIssues.com here at San Diego Comic-Con 2013, and I am here with legendary chap hop rapper Professor Elemental. How are you, sir?
Hello. Yes, I'm very jet lagged, so I'm just mad as a box of frogs.
I figured you'd just time travel here.
Yeah, you would have thought that.
So much
No,
easier.
Sadly, I had to come by more traditional means and haven't really slept in the days and days I've been here. But then there's too much to see. I can't sleep. I might miss something.
There's way too much at Comic-Con. It used to be 4 days was plenty, but now that it's spilled out into downtown area, you can't see it all.
Yeah, you really can't, can you? I keep stumbling, going, well, that must be it now. Oh no, there's another room full of stuff and things.
All the things.
Oh, there's so many pretty things.
So have you come to the States to do many of the conventions out here? Is this perhaps the biggest one you've done ever?
Yeah, definitely. The biggest convention there is. It would have to be. There's no bigger convention. I've done lots of steampunk conventions, which have been lovely. And I did Comic Palooza in Texas and another comic one in Dublin called Arcade Con, both which are lovely. But the idea that I'm playing at comic conventions as a real comic nerd who loves doing hip hop is everything's meshed together finally.
Yes, the world's kindly aligning and,
So
and
nice.
everything is coming up roses.
I don't like your tweet, sir. Will teach you the professor's ready. Not. Let's see who strikes the loudest. Lose. Put on my fighting trousers. I've got super producers and fans that play me. You have a granddad's moustache and a ukulele. Don't look around, sir. I'm speaking to you. Roll up your shirt sleeves. Queensbury rules. Never test professors with the cleverest wits. Let's settle this like gentlemen armed with heavy sticks on a rotating plate with spikes like Flash Gordon. And you're Peter Duncan. I gave you fair warning when this
So
George...
you're definitely a big mover and shaker in the steampunk world. And steampunk every year just gets a little bigger. What is it that you think about steampunk is really catching the masses and really, getting traction?
I think it's because we were talking about this earlier. I think it's because everybody can have their own interpretation of it, and you can come at it from loads of different angles. If you're kind of into historical, more factual things, you can do that. And if you like the more whimsical, or I've got a giant airship piloted by an octopus, you can do that. And if you just want to put on a funny hat and get drunk with people, that works as well. It's nice.
You don't always need a lot of excuses, but some goggles and a nice dress.
That's all you need.
You're set.
Definitely.
You're good. You're
Someone
good.
was asking me, so what's the cultural differences between sort of steampunk in America and steampunk in England? And I was like, well,
It's real out there.
no, yeah. Well, firstly, it's real
That's
out
where
there.
it came from.
And also, it's a bit more of an excuse just to drink in fancy dress in England. I think here everybody's got a backstory and an elaborate alias and an airship. Here we just got a pint and a hat.
Now, as a rapper yourself, it's very I don't want to say counterculture, but it's definitely not what you would assume. So what's it been being one of the very few, if only, steampunk-themed rapper in the game? What's that like for you?
It's great because there's no one else in the
There's
game,
no
so I
competition.
can make it up. I can just make up any rules I like to
You're
the whole
always
genre.
the best.
Yeah, I will always be the best one. It's lovely actually. It was a bit peculiar at first, sort of stepping away from traditional hip hop and finding my audience. But then again, because I've always been like a sort of nerd or a geek, then I didn't always fit in with the traditional hip-hop mold, even when I was doing it before, kind of being fancy dress. So it's like, oh no, I found my people now. I've got an excuse to perform to the sort of people that I would be getting on with, which is lovely.
And essentially everybody here at Comic-Con is someone in your fandom. Anybody here can be a fan of Professor Elemental.
Anybody
Everybody.
can be a fan of Professor Elemental.
Because you also have a comic book out, right?
Yeah, I've got a lovely comic book written and edited predominantly by a very talented chap called Chris Mole, who I'll be forever in debt with because he's helped me have a comic book. And just this host of artists. And the lovely thing about it's a bit like steampunk itself is there's lots of small press artists and writers who are happy to give up their time and their energy to kind of contribute to these projects. And it's come out lovely. It's been really nice.
It's a super fun anthology mythology of Professor Elemental Adventures.
Yeah, definitely. It's got a lot of monkeys, big dinosaur, and an attic. Yes.
I need a cup of the brown stuff, the shade of an acorn, made warm by the same source that I take my cakes from. Using a teapot, a mug or fine china, been hooked up to IVs, need constant supplies, and a drip for my urges might verge on perverted, but for earthy brown tea, I'm certain it's worth it. With Sherpas who work herds and use a fresh fountain, I've discerned brews from Peruvian mountains. I've slurped up a cuppa from an elephant's trunk, with a couple of monks who utterly stunk. I've had bourbons with sultans and creams with queens, and I've bathed in Earl Grey. I'm really that keen, and missionaries dismiss me for my single epiphany. The diff between him and me is a simple sip of British tea. So when times are hard and life is rough, you can stick the kettle on and find me a cup. Now when I say Earl Grey, you say yes please, Earl Grey.
So what do we have to look forward to coming from you in the future?
I've got loads of little projects going on. The next big thing I want to do is there's a 1970s album of War of the Worlds. I don't know if you had that over here particularly, a big kind of rock opera.
Google it if you don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know, you really should know. It's great, a classic sort of rock opera. And I love that story, and I would love to do a big parody version of the War of the Worlds, but with a comic, a video, and an album, and try and bring all of these things together to tell the story through 3 different means. And that's going to be a very exciting big project.
That sounds super fun. So how do we get any kind of Professor Elemental merchandise? How do we get CDs and shirts and comic books and everything that you're doing? Where do we go?
Go to professorelemental.com and I will give you a digital cuddle, and you can send me send me your monies and I will send you all my rubbish.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much for
it.
having me.
We'll see you later.
See you.